Hi, we're senior nursing students here at UNCP, and we're here to talk to you about domestic violence. There are 4 different types of domestic abuse. Okay, the first one is emotional and verbal abuse. Emotional abuse is any kind of abuse that is emotional rather than physical in nature. It can include anything from verbal abuse and constant criticism to more subtle tactics, including intimidation, manipulation, and refusal to ever be pleased. Emotional abuse can take many forms. Next is physical abuse. Physical abuse is any intentional act causing injury or trauma to another person or animal by way of bodily contact. Third is sexual abuse. Sexual abuse is unwanted sexual activity with perpetrators using force, making threats, or taking advantage of victims not able to give consent. Most victims and perpetrators know each other. Last is financial abuse. Financial abuse is known as a silent weapon. It's used in toxic relationships to financially control their partner's access to economic resources.
I'm going to talk about some of the signs of an abusive relationship. Fear of your partner. Partner trying to control you, belittle you, or acting overly possessive. Feelings of desperation, helplessness, and self-hatred. Feeling helpless around your partner. Avoiding talking about certain topics to avoid making them angry. And a partner trying to threaten to hurt you or kill you. The list goes on and on.
Domestic violence occurs in 3 phases. The first phase is called the tension building phase. During this phase, tension builds between the abuser and the victim. The abuser is easily agitated and minor battering incidents occur. The second phase is called the acute battering incident. This is the shortest, but it's the most severe phase of all. It can usually last up to 24 hours. During this phase, the victim will suffer physical injuries from the abuser. The victim most often only seeks help if they sustain serious injuries or their children. The third phase is the honeymoon phase. During this phase, the abuser is loving, kind, and calm. The abuser plays on the victim's feelings of guilt, and he feels as though he has taught the victim a lesson and they will now act better. The cycle will continue when minor battering incidents start to occur again and renewed tension happens.
I have a friend that is a victim of domestic violence. There are a few things that you can do. 1, listen. Allow them to talk about their relationship, both the good and the bad, and ask them about how they're feeling. 2, stay connected. A text message a day or a phone call a week can make a big difference. It shows your support. 3, affirm. Let them know that they are not alone. And just because they're a victim of domestic violence, it doesn't make them less of a person. 4, point out the red flags. If you see domestic violence behaviors, ask about them. 5, believe and validate. Domestic violence is real and it's okay to have feelings of uncertainty. Lastly, 6, community resources. Let them know about the available resources.
Domestic violence can have an extreme negative effect on the victim. This can result in emotional and psychological trauma. It can also lead to homelessness, ineffective coping, which can lead to alcohol and drug abuse. It can unfortunately result in death, illness, injury, and disability. The national statistics on domestic violence include on average 20 people per minute are physically abused by their intimate partner in the United States. This equates to more than 10 million people in 1 year. Every 9 seconds in the U.S., a woman is assaulted or beaten. Intimate partner violence accounts for 15% of all violent crimes, and 19% of domestic violence involves a weapon. According to the Fayetteville Observer, in 2018, 7 of the 22 police investigated murders were victims of domestic violence.
The organization that we have in Cumberland County to help victims of domestic violence is the CARE Family Violence Center. This organization is located on 1225 Ramsey Street in Fayetteville, North Carolina. The phone number is 910-323-1540. This organization provides crisis intervention, referral services, counseling, re-education for family members, as well as temporary housing that includes children.